Welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, from the Bay to LA, all the way down to San Diego, up to Sacramento, to the East Coast. What's up, Virginia? Tri-State area, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. What's up, New York? It's always good to have y'all. Even my fans down in Florida, where it's beautiful. Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking Shiva. And who is Shiva? And why is it important to know? And what is its connection to Cern? Oh man, today we educate you. So sit down, make yourself comfortable. And thanks for joining us, all our friends across the pond. France, UK, Netherlands. Yes, indeed. Make yourselves comfortable. We'll be back in a few moments. Light them if you got them. Today, we're talking the Destroyer. Man, it gets crazy. All right, how we doing today? How we doing? Welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Having fun, y'all. And we're learning as we go. Every day is a blessing. So today is no different than any other. Well, today we're talking a little bit about Cern, a little bit about the Mandela effect, but most importantly, we're talking a little bit about what's behind the curtain. Or better yet, what's in front of the building? Well, we're talking Shiva. Shiva the Destroyer. And who is it? And what do you need to know? I mean, got a lot of information to give you. So I hope you're ready, because we're ready to share. So let's get the introductions out the way. I'm your host, LC Graves. We got Mikey Nikes in the building as usual. Johnny doing the sound levels. Jennifer on the ones and twos. Whole crew together as usual. Always good to have all of y'all. And always good to have all of y'all that's joining us, listening, downloading, whether on demand or listening to us live. Whatever it is, thank you. Now, today, we have a crazy subject. We're talking about Shiva. Shiva the Destroyer. Man. I know a lot of y'all who, listen to this podcast, download this podcast, share this podcast, retweet. Well, y'all all know that we spend a lot of time covering a lot of subjects. One is the Mandela effect. Strong in the Mandela effect community that we are. Because we put in the work, paid our dues, did the research, spread the word, created conversation in communities where the conversation wasn't actually being had. Man, we just want to shine some light in areas of darkness. No area is more darker than the Mandela effect. And a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blame, a lot of people having theories. None more controversial than the theory that Cern has something to do with the Mandela effect and our displacement in our universe, our dimensional dismissal. Try saying that 10 times. Dimensional dismissal. Yeah, I know, Mikey. I come up with some shit. But it is what it is. I'm telling y'all, the Mandela effect affects all aspects of time, space, and reality. Souls, people, bodies, things that was written, things that was saw, movies, movie covers, movie titles, the Bible, places, continents, location in the universe. Man, I'm telling y'all, everything has changed. But is there a reason? Yes, a lot of people have been searching for the cause. So, one of the theories is that Cern, the Large Hadron Collider, smashing particles together as fast as the speed of light in hopes to get a glimpse at the other side. Well, some people say they got more than a glimpse. They opened up the other side, and now we're on it. We're on the other side right now as we speak. But how do you get back? Is there a way back? Is this Cern even the same Cern that was responsible for what happened? I mean, think about it. If you're from number one dimension, and that Cern would have been responsible, right? Well, it is what it is. But let me explain to y'all something. When I started researching Cern, nothing stood out more than that big statue. You know that big statue they're so proud of? You know, the Shiva statue. Yeah, Shiva. Shiva has a story. Shiva has an identity, a deity, a god. Better yet, god of destruction. So basically, you know, we did our research. We want to find out a little bit more. And today's show is about the information that we gathered in our research. We just want to talk to y'all a little bit, just a little bit, about Cern, their connection to Shiva, connection to the Mandela effect. And is the Mandela effect somehow telling us something? I mean, in the field of dreams, most of us remember the famous words being spoken in a movie, saying, if you build it, they will come. You know, they. And now, in this new universe, new dimension, the other side, you know, according to many, thanks to Cern. Now we're on the other side. The words have been spoken differently, movie made differently. But is there a hidden message in a new way that the words are being spoken? That's a whole show in itself. But the new words spoken says, if you build it, he will come. A lot of people said, wow, that's crazy, you know, because it didn't say that before. And, you know, and now it's saying it now. But us in the Mandela effect community are past that. We understand it's crazy that the words have been changed. But some of us see even deeper and say, we understand that the words were changed, and that's amazing in itself. But what the words were changed to, me not believing in no coincidences. And everything happens for a reason. Even the Mandela effect, and even each effect, hidden meanings. If you build it, he will come. Who is he? A lot of people with us asking that question. You know, all the YouTubers. I'm looking at the videos on Mandela effect. YouTubers, right? Who is he? I think I got the answer. Maybe the answer is standing right there in front of Cern. Maybe it's that statue. Maybe that's who's coming. The person who's stepping through the portal. I wonder, is it really true? Or is it some type of figment of my imagination? All of this fabricated by a mind that's going crazy. Maybe not. A lot of people feel the same. Is Cern responsible? I don't know. But I do know that Shiva is very interesting. And when we come back, I will tell you exactly how interesting as we share the information that we gathered in our research of the big statue in front of the Cern Large Hadron Collider. Interesting. We'll be back after this break. Light them if you got them, right? You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California.
You're fine when I know what you got in mind tonight. Got me feeling like Judah. See, girl, I can't leave you alone. Take a shot of this here Patron, and it's gonna be on. VIP then got way too crowded. I'm about to, and I'm calling it a night. You should holler at your girl, tell her you're shaking the scene. Pull off peep peep shotgun in the GT with me. She said, oh, I'm ready to ride. Yeah. Once you get inside, you can't change your mind. Don't mean to sound impatient, but you gotta promise, baby. Oh, tell me again, my baby. Oh, I gotta know, baby. Oh, yeah. Tell me again. Make sure you're right. Oh, before we leave. Tell me over and over and over again. When it breaks your heart, oh, I take your hands
Yeah, I just want to say something, man. We are the best podcast in any dimension, on any earth. I don't care what version of the earth you're from. You have to appreciate what we bring to the table. Man, cutting edge, quantum thinking. We're covering every base. We're thinking about all of these things on every different level. We're thinking of all possibilities all at the same moment, determining which direction that we're going to go next. We are a community of researchers. Yes, more than a family. We're a community. And that includes the Mandela Effect community. It's a reason that what happened has happened. And it's a reason that what's happened has happened to us. It is our job, no one else's, to find out why this happened and what part do we play. Then we play it, and we play it well. Yes, y'all. I'm telling you, this is so crazy. And it's a job. It's a task on top of any task that you are currently working. Back in my old world, my old life, I was a researcher. I researched things like Planet X, the Bermuda Triangle, Bigfoot, and extinction of events. And it's just weird when I look at all the life on the planet and I ask myself, what brought us to this point in time? This moment in time and space where this group of humans on this planet, what brought us to this moment? And, you look at the bones of the planet, you look at, the extinction of the dinosaurs, and all these questions that I had throughout my lifetime that I was trying to answer. But none is more complicated as the Mandela Effect, because it just takes you away from where you were and place you in a completely different situation. And it asks you to understand and collect information, and try to articulate what you're seeing to the best of your ability. We're witnesses. We're travelers. But why? And who is the cause for this? Is it Cern? Well, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. Cern is an interesting subject when it comes to this, especially when we look at the research that they're doing. But in more, you will have to try to understand Cern better. And what are their motivations? What do they want? Well, there's a very interesting statue right in front of their complex. And the statue is of a deity. Now, this deity is one that is known for destruction. But basically, it's a deity that's one of the main principles in Hinduism. So, I don't know if you knew that. But basically, is one of the supreme beings within, let me see if I can say this right, and y'all bear with me, Shiavism, one of the major traditions within contemporary Hinduism. So, you have to think about it. Shiva, supreme being, primordial god of destruction. And basically, it's said that, yes, it's a supreme being, right? And supreme god of destruction. But it's also the destroyer of evil, god of yoga, meditation, and arts. These things are reported. If you look up Shiva and you do a little bit of research, it's not all scary. But when you see the word destruction, it does grab your attention, right? Because it's like, wow, this God, is known for destroying. And this is true. But Shiva is known as the destroyer, but also as the transformer. Not Megatron. Not Starscream. But you have to understand, within the Trimurti Hindu Trinity, that includes Brahma and Vishnu. So, in Shaivism tradition, and I'm really trying. Shiva is the supreme being who creates, protects, and transforms the universe. Now, let's stop right there. Shiva is the supreme being who creates, protects, transforms the universe. Now, that's saying a lot, folks, because what happened and what are we claiming with the Mandela effect? Huh? What are we saying that we're seeing in the Mandela effect? Wow. We're seeing changes, right? So if you're embracing this deity, you know, and we high intellect believe that something has happened to the past dimension, the destroyer, past dimension destroyed, then you have transformer, the transformation of one dimension to another dimension. Sounds like the Mandela effect, don't it? Shiva is the supreme being that creates, protects, and transforms the universe. So we're talking things that were created in this universe, this new universe. And now who protects it? If you build it, he will come. He came, he destroyed, he created, transformed, and now he protects this, the new universe. So in tradition of Hinduism called Shaktism, the goddess of Devi is described as the supreme, yet Shiva is revered along with Vishnu and Brahma, a goddess that started to be the energy and the creative power, Shakti, of each. So this is crazy. So you're thinking what equal complementary partner of Shiva, Sati. So he's known as one of the 5 equivalent deities. And man, I'm gonna really butcher this. Panchayatana Pua. Oh man, I wish I had some help with this. The Smarta tradition of Hinduism. Now, I studied a little bit of Hinduism, but I've always struggled with the actual words. But I did study Vishnu and Brahma. Didn't know too much about Shiva. Well, I'm learning more as we go. So according to the Shivaism sect, the highest form of Shiva is formless, limitless, transcendent, and unchanging absolute Brahma. So basically the highest form of Shiva is basically formless, without physical form, limitless, without limits to the power that he possesses, transcendent, able to transcend dimensions and time and space, unchanging absolute. So all of these things. So you think about Brahma, and you think about Shiva, and these are deities that are in Hindu tradition. Vishnu. I mean, all these ancient stories, you know, of the what's that? The flying machines. God, I can't pronounce it. It's just so much information. It's all piled in my head. It's just like I'm trying to dig it all out. But anyway, the primal Atman, the soul, the self of the universe. So there are both benevolent and fearsome depictions of Shiva. So Shiva could be considered benevolent because, you know, of the creation part, and the protection part, but also, feared and revered because of the destroyer part and the transformation part. So it's crazy. So, man, if any of y'all Hindus out there and you understand the Hindu culture, well, definitely a lot better than I do, I would love to get some of your comments at the bottom just to let us understand a little bit more. Because this is crazy, He's depicted in a omniscient yogi who lives in ascetic life on Mount Kailash, as well as a householder with wife Parvati and his 2 children, Janisha and Kartikeya. Oh man, I know I messed that up. Kartikeya? That is hard, man. I did hear of Janisha, and I've seen Janisha statues, and pretty awesome. And I always understood that it had some type of ancient meaning, but I never understood the backstory. But now I understand a little bit more as I read. And I'm reading from the file as we do the show. I read the files earlier, but I wanted to do the show as quick as possible because it's a bunch of files on Shiva. I mean, you would not believe. But it's awesome when you think about, the fierce depiction of Shiva is, depicted of him slaying demons. And Shiva is also known as a Adi Yogi Shiva, regarded as the patron god of yoga, meditation, and arts. So, all of those are beauty and creativity. So it's a lot going on here. And, when you think about the things that, Cern hoped to represent, it doesn't surprise me that, they went this route, with the statue that they chose to represent, who they are and what they're doing. So, man, we're going to take another break and we're going to come back. Right now we're talking Cern, we're talking Mandela Effect, we're talking Shiva, trying to learn. It's not easy. You see how we're doing it. No specialists, just us learning on our own. But at least we're doing it together as a team. You listen to the Dark Skies Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
I've got a big G-Wagon, I don't mind sharing. We could get wild like Olivia, we could get stoned like Sharon. Rotate care, but they push me to the point where I'm just not caring. I'm just more ready than petty nowadays. Young and in control, even when they stoop low. I see anything is anything and everything's a goal. But I already know that, and I'm just more ready than petty nowadays. Just know, young and in control, even when they stoop low. I see anything is anything, I'm watching y'all close. I'm just more ready than... Yeah. I'm just more ready than petty nowadays. Just know. Y'all don't want to question it, you just want definite. Yeah. I jump out of relationship before I get left in it. Yeah. The sex we had remind me of the money and success a bit. Yeah. Cause even when I got it, I just gotta keep getting it. Even when I got it, I just gotta keep getting it. Big hotel suite, I'm the only one in it. Always going back to some shit that I already been in. Plenty fish up in the sea, but I never go fishing. We got everybody sick, and get well soon, and a lot of well wishes. Young and in control, even when they stoop low. I see anything is anything and everything's a goal, but I already know that, and I'm just just more ready than petty nowadays. Just know, young and in control, even when they stoop low. I see anything is anything, I'm watching y'all close. I'm just more ready than. Yeah, I'm just more ready than petty nowadays. Just know.
What have we learned today? Mandela effect, Cern, Large Hadron Collider, time and space manipulation, multi-universes, Cern, Geneva, Switzerland, France. It's incredible, all of this. But who do we talk to? Each other. What do we learn? Everything. What's the mission? Survive. Who's doing this and why? Who's affected? Everybody. When you start dealing with powers, particles that you couldn't hope to control, contain, even if Shiva exists, you hope to wield the power of a god. And I'm not saying that's what y'all doing, or that's what we're researching, or that's what y'all hope. But the powers of destruction, creation, transformation, limitless, formless. Y'all trying to reach the highest level. Now, I got some stories to tell y'all, but I can't get it all in. It's only one podcast. But I want y'all to study the Tower of Babel. And I want y'all to understand that humans was tricked into building this machine before. And dealing with these types of powers seem like it's beyond our comprehension. But we're being tricked into believing that we are comprehending it. Now, some of the smartest people in the universe are gathered right here on this planet because we don't know about any other smart life on the universe. But I can guarantee you there's some out there. But known to us, we are it. Humans should be smart enough not to build weapons of mass destruction on the planet that we live on. And now we're talking about weapons that can destroy things on a universal level. We're talking about deities with the power of destruction and creation being worshipped out and open. And they say not worship, but when you build statues and icons of deities, where I come from, that's worship. Idolize them. Well, it is what it is. The more I learn about Shiva, the more interesting he gets. especially when you talk about, you know, in regard as the patron god of yoga, meditation, and arts. All beautiful things. But I wonder, are these the things that are being embraced? As what are things that are affected people? Huh? Do I have to really get into it with you? Let me tell you some of the things that are affected when we talk about the Mandela effect. Arts are affected, right? Wasn't the Mona Lisa affected? People in the Mandela effect community, often report changes in the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is considered art to most. But not just that. The thinker. Like he's thinking wrong. Things have changed. And continue to change. And continue to change. And continue to change. Only those who wish to see will see. So, Shiva with the serpents around the neck. Adoring the crescent moon. The holy river, Gaga, flowing from his matted hair. The third eye on his forehead. I'm telling y'all, all of this is information that you can find. I mean, when I speak of yoga and I speak of meditation and I show you the depictions of Shiva in its meditative form, do y'all really understand what y'all are embracing? Do y'all understand what comes next? Or what's come to pass? I'm not trying to say that I'm some type of expert. As you can see, I'm learning as you learn. But I'm just talking about stuff in hopes to spark discussion. I mean, anybody who listens to this podcast can tell, I can barely pronounce some of these names. The Hindu culture is very deep and mystical. It would take me a lifetime to really get into, understand, and the whole embodiment of Hinduism. There are great people who sat down for many years in deep meditation in hopes to understand Hinduism. Well, we journey to try to understand Shiva, one of its deities, and why have Cern used it as, the image that it chooses to embrace. They choose to have what it stands for embody what they stand for. We don't know why. Because, they tight-lipped over there. They just say, oh, it's a gift. A statue was just given to us. Yeah, okay, fine. Tell me anything. Because that's what smart people do to dumb people. They tell you anything. So it is what it is. You have to do your own research and try to figure out for yourself. Who is that? I see that statue. And that's where we at. We'll see a statue. We'll do a little bit of research and try to find out who it is and what it represents. And that's where we at. So I know there are people out there that have way more information on the subject. And I invite you to comment below and tell us what you know. Because that's what we want. We want to spark discussion and we want to open doors of communication and let people know we're thinking. Come think with us. But for now, I'm your host, Elsie Grace. Thank you. Mikey Max is still in the building. Jim sits before me. Jennifer and ones and twos. As we get ready to leave, I thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Dark Skies Podcast. Coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, as usual, from the Bay to LA, all the way down to San Jose, down to San Diego, up to Sacramento, to the East Coast, to across the pond. I see you, Canada. It's like I'm the man up there. Thank you, LA. Be safe to all our people down south. I'm talking about South America. My eyes are on you. And until we meet again, thanks for joining us. And we out.